Hey, how's it going? I know I'm terrible at Photoshop, so I'm using a fucking potato to represent myself for this video. And yeah, you're just gonna have to deal with it. The mid 2000s, the years following, you're brought upon some of the most horrific redesigns of many of our beloved video game characters. Some bad, some downright hideous, and some that just kind of seem to work out in the end. But let's be honest, 99% of them are really bad, and that's what I'm gonna showcase to you guys today. I know this is different from other videos on my channel, but I don't want to only just make shitty edits of my friends fucking around, and actually do some of the things that, as a kid, I used to watch and really inspired me to make this stuff in the first place. I'll stop rambling, it's a bad habit. Let's get into victim number one, and honestly, the most infamous of the group. After a couple solid releases like Sonic Generations and Sonic Colors, Sega for some reason wanted to change things up a bit, and like most things Sega touches, especially Sonic, it became the laughingstock of the internet.
Sonic. Boom.
When I first saw the design, I really didn't know what to think, and mainly because at the time, I was one of those weird kids who really liked Sonic, but never would say anything because I knew I'd get hazed. This just isn't working for me, but it's grown on me a little bit as time went on, and mainly because of the show that followed, really being the only saving grace that weird pocket of time produced. Also, maybe Sonic Boom, Fire and Ice, but let's be honest, who actually played that game? He looks like a fucking blue string bean and they got a scarf put on him. It's weird, because with these designs and obsession of the taped up hands, Knuckle looks like he wants to devour me. Ah yes, the beloved platforming icon, Crash Bandicoot, had a bit of a phase as well, coming in with the games Crash of the Titans, as well as its sequel, Mind Over Mutant. So how bad can it be, right? Yeah, it's not for me. It doesn't help that the games this abomination appeared on also weren't very good either. The whole tribal tattoo thing he's got going on screams a 10-year-old who like put a quarter into those weird shitty sticker gumball machines and just slapped it on the side of his Xbox 360. Other characters also got redesigns, but they're not who I'm talking about right now. Let's let them rot. Imagine you've been waiting for years for a new Banjo-Kazooie game to come out. When you load it up, you're greeted with the two basically just one Big Mac away from having cardiac arrest. While them being obese is just a bit for the introduction, the actual models really aren't hitting the bells for me either. The blocky look of them just doesn't match the cartoon movement that they had in their originals. I feel Smash's interpretation of them did much better justice by keeping the cartoony antics while also touching them up a bit to look fresh and more recognizable than the fucking toaster over here. It's almost like these designs tried to mimic that one dude who looks like a Minecraft dirt block, and is probably the reason why there hasn't been a Banjo game since. This one, this one hurts my soul because I would consider myself a pretty big Spyro fan, and I hope based on the success of the Reignited trilogy, we can get a new game out of it, similar to how Crash did with his trilogy. Spyro's PS2 outing was, it was debatably one of the worst crossing of a console generation a character had, but then out of nowhere, once the PS3 rolled around, and also the GameCube for some reason, Spyro was just kind of just given a new trilogy, and they decided to give him a forehead that can rival an egg. While the design got tweaked a little bit over the next two games, Skylanders just made him look like a fucking goblin. Even worse is that the Skylanders series went on, Spyro basically was out of the picture by the second game. I don't know, there's just something about the more edgy aesthetics of the mid 2000s, and even a little bit of the early 2010s, that just didn't age well for me. It probably aged just as good as like like a carton of milk that was left in the sun for about a decade to form the ultimate milk block. Ooh, Mojang. I want my ass in the credits if that becomes a thing. You know, there are plenty more characters that went through this just absolute massacre of their design, all the fundamentals that made them a good character in the first place, especially in the design, and just those are just the worst ones off the top of my head. If you guys got any more that you think are worse, then write them in the comments. I have no life, so you'll see me there responding to a lot of them. Anyways, thanks for watching, as well as having us eclipse over 40 subs, which is kind of cool since I started about, what, like a month ago? Once again, thank you guys, and roll the bad to the bone, baby. Roll that shit.